Hello, 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 hello. I know, right? It's been a long, long time. Welcome, 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 welcome once again to Ebusiabi YouTube channel. You guys, yeah, it's been one issue after the other, but I know it's been a while. I decided to, pass by and drop this video. Yeah, there is nothing I'm going to say today that we haven't heard before. But I think we have to start putting all that we know, all that we've heard into practice. We have to start walking our talk. You know, it is one thing having a dream, and it's another thing making your dream come into fruition. You know, I mean, if you have a dream and it's just on paper and you've not put it to work, there is nothing of use of that dream. So if you have a dream or if you have a plan or whatever, and you don't work towards making that plan or that dream coming into fruition, it's just as useless. It's just the same like someone who doesn't have a dream at all. Well, basically, this channel is a political channel, but once in a while we drop cooking shows, and I believe we have all been following, recent events around the world, especially in America here, where, um, how do I put it? Migration has become a topical issue after the election of President John Trump to power, the 47th president of America. Yeah, by the way, I mean, I'm in full support of President Donald Trump because you need to understand what President Donald Trump is doing in its totality. Don't just look at it in one way and blame Donald Trump that President Trump doesn't like, I mean, immigrants. No, it is far from that. I mean, if you care to know, I think President Trump loves immigrants and he loves Africans. But the point is, have you sat down to think about it? Why must it be that America, for the most part, why must it be that America must be the only, only in quotes? I know there are other countries that people go to for, greener pastures, but for the most part, everybody wants to come to America. Why? What is it that Americans or the American leadership has done differently that other countries cannot do, such that citizens of other countries always want to come to America for greener pastures? You know, before President John Trump became the president, I did some YouTube videos recommending for the abolishment of, birthright citizenship in America. And I have genuine reasons. For making that video, and I still stand by it. I mean, to this, I will say welcome once again to Ebushembi YouTube channel. And this video it's nothing exceptional that I've not done before, or it's nothing exceptional you're going to hear today. But like I said earlier, we need to put into practice what we already know and what we've already heard. And I'm speaking to my African brothers, my African sisters, my African mothers, my African fathers, especially the youth of Africa. We need to arise. We need to arise and build the African continent. If we had good leadership, there is no reason why any African from the soil of Africa should travel outside of Africa to be maltreated or abused by other countries as an immigrant. No, if we had good leaders, because we have everything on the African soil to develop. Have you asked yourself why? Why are we not developing? Why is it that still we have the youth of Africa embarking on the deadly voyage on the Sahara Desert to cross to Europe? Why? I mean, It should be so easy for Africans to develop now because we have a lot of patents. Like they say, there is no need reinventing the wheel. We have all the raw materials that we need to build Africa. There is no need reinventing the wheel. The wheel is already built. All we have to do is look on the wheel, look after the wheel, or use the wheel as a blueprint, use the wheel as a blueprint and build a continent. What is it that we lack in Africa? What is it that we lack? We don't lack the human capital. We have energy behind us. We have you full of energy. The only thing we lack as Africans is leadership. Leadership. And it's not like we don't have people who can stand up and lead Africa. We have people who can lead Africa. But the problem is everything in Africa and especially in Ghana, my motherland, everything has become, tribalism. Everything is about, and people are talking about tribal lines. Everything is in tribal lines. We have become so attached to personalities. Why must we be attached to personalities? We must love the continent Africa and not attached to personalities. We must not get ourselves attached to political parties. Why do you have to attach yourself to these political parties such that these politicians, they come into government or they come into power and they don't even care about you? They don't even care about us. It is high time we stop attaching ourselves to political parties. We need to love the continent Africa. Let's stop attaching ourselves to individuals, personalities. That is where the problem is. Because this person is like, oh, I'm from the eastern part of Ghana. So anybody from the eastern part of Ghana, whether the person is good or a bad politician, I'm going to be behind this person. Oh, this person is like, oh, I'm from the western part of Ghana. So any politician that is from the western part of Ghana, whether the person is doing something good or bad, I'm going to support the person. Oh, I belong to party AYZ. I belong to party KYZ. So, oh, it doesn't matter what this party is doing. And talking specifically about Ghana, I think by now, I'm not saying this in support of the NDC, but by now, I think the MPP government, the MPP party, well, they are no longer in government. So the MPP party, I think by now, it should be collapsed by now. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because of the track record that they left behind. I can give you just one example why I think nobody should belong to that party, the MPP party. Look, I mean, if we are really serious to develop our country and we are going to do away with all this tribalism and ethnicity and attachment to political parties, ask yourself what has become of the how do you call it, the cathedral? Why should any sensible, reasonable government spend $59 million on a foundation? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself this question. $59 million. $59 million on the foundation of a cathedral. That that is so insane. And still we have people supporting this party. It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think it should make sense to you. It doesn't make sense. $59 million just for a foundation of a cathedral. If the cathedral was built, that would have been great. Because there are cathedrals around the world that serves as tourist attraction. I was all in support of the cathedral. I'm not going to run away from it. I was all in support of it because there are monumental cathedrals around the world that serve as tourist attraction, which generate money, generate employment, for those countries. So if this was built, no questions about it. But how do we waste $59 million? $59 million. Do we know? I mean, sometimes I wonder how these politicians in Africa and Ghana, how they think. Well, those monies, they don't work to earn those monies, so they can spend the monies anyhow, and that's the problem. If you have to work hard to make $1 a day, then you appreciate what it means to earn $100, let alone $59 million. And we waste $59 million on a foundation, and nobody is questioning this. No, nobody is angry. The people think, oh, it's business as usual, and life just goes on like that. What's wrong with us as a people? What is wrong with us as a people? Youth of Africa, youth of Ghana, we need to arise. Seriously, we need to arise and detach ourselves from these political personalities. We need to arise and detach ourselves from these political parties. Let's attach ourselves to our continent and our country, Ghana. That's the only way we can move forward. If we keep attaching ourselves to political parties, personalities, there is no way we are going to move forward. Listen, about a week ago, and I know this is no news to you, about a week ago, somebody sent me live photos from the western region of Ghana, of a primary school. I mean, it is so horrible. Western region of Ghana. Western region of Ghana is one of the most richest regions in Africa in terms of natural mineral resources. And when you look at the building being described as a school for school children, I'm like, these politicians are not serious. And it's because of me and you, because we are become so attached to the personalities and political parties in Ghana. Let's rise up. In some of my videos, I've made some videos on other social media. I've called on the Trade Union Congress. I've called on youth organizations. Youth students, bodies. We need to put our tools down. All workers of Ghana, you need to put your tools down and ask the present government. Ask the present government headed by Mr. Mahama. We should see a roadmap for the development of Ghana. We have African Union. Where is the roadmap of the African Union to help stop the Trans-Sahara voyage? Day in, day out, we are having sons and daughters of the African continent die on the Sahara Desert. Day in, day out. Last week, a news item was like they found a mass grave full of migrants. A mass grave full of migrants. Where do you think these migrants come from? Some of them come from Togo, some of them come from Senegal, some of them come from Ghana. No questions are being asked. What are we doing as a people? We cannot sit down and think it's business as usual. Let's be bold to speak truth to power. For me, it hurts me. It hurts my heart because I think nobody on the African continent, no citizen or no daughter and son of the African soil should live in poverty. No, nobody on the African continent, daughters and sons, mothers, fathers of the soil of Africa should live in poverty. We are where we are because of leadership. And when or if we don't bring the feet of these politicians to fire, they will never do what we want for us. We have to demand from the politicians what we want. They don't have to tell us what they will do for us. They don't have to tell us what they will do for us. We have to demand from them what they have to do for us. Because listen, why is it that the politicians, they come into power and within few months, they look so good, they are driving nice cars, they have nice houses. There's nothing wrong with all of that. But while they are doing that, why can't they do the same for the people? Why should the politician and their cronies be entitled to huge sums of salaries, allowances, garden boys, nannies, and all of that, but the common teacher, the common clerk, or the farmer can't have entitlement to all of those things? Politicians and their cronies are not the only persons on the African continent who should enjoy. We should all enjoy. All daughters, sons, children, fathers, mothers of the soil of African continent must also enjoy life. Think about it. Think about it. And in this cause, we need our mothers, we need our aunties, our sisters, our girlfriends, our wives. You guys, you need to help us in this cause. Don't just be thinking of your wigs and your eyelashes and your nails that you guys will just go and buy. Don't just think about all of those material things. If you are a mother, you are a daughter, you are a wife, you are an auntie, and you claim to have compassion, what is happening on the African continent, you will raise your voice too and make sure that the right things are done. Yes, if we say that behind every successful man there is a woman, then behind every successful nation or behind every successful continent, there are women. Where are our women? What are our women doing? What are they telling their husbands, their boyfriends, their uncles, their fathers? If our women really are moved by poverty in Africa, I think Africa will change. Yes, if our women are moved by poverty and all the hunger on the African continent, Africa will change. But what now? What do our women? Our women are just engrossed in just using material, artificial things on themselves. That's all. Wigs and nails and I'm not saying nobody. I'm not saying no woman should dress nice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we must focus on building the African continent. Instead of thinking of, I mean, where you get your next wig from, or your next eyelashes from, or your next nails from, or whatever. Women of Africa, let's hear your voice. Let's hear your voice, women of Africa. Let the hunger, the poverty on the land of Africa be your worry too. It's not because you think you are okay with your husband or your whatever. So I mean, that's all about life. Life is not just about you thinking about yourself. Think about your neighbor. Think about your community. Think about the society. Because all men on the African continent in leadership positions, all men have a woman behind them. What kind of advice are you giving to your men? What kind of advice are you giving to your husbands? What kind of advice are you giving to your boyfriends in leadership positions? If truly women are moved by compassion, the women on the African continent should arise. Hmm? Africa cannot continue like this. Africa cannot continue like this. Africa cannot continue like this. It is sad. It is sad. Why should America be the only place that people want to go for success? Why? What is it that is happening, or what is the leadership of America doing, or what have they done to structure the American continent or the American nation that Africa we cannot do? What? We have every raw material in Africa, and it should have been easy for Africa continent to develop because we already have the blueprint. We already have the wheel. There's no need reinventing no wheel. So what is the problem? Our problem is leadership. Let's stop attaching ourselves to personalities. Let's stop attaching ourselves to personalities. Our kings, queens, chiefs, traditional leaders, religious leaders, everybody has become so selfish and greedy. Nobody's thinking about the community anymore. Nobody. All they want to do is get money and travel outside of African continent, go to America and get citizenship. How wicked and cruel can our African leaders be? How wicked and cruel can our chiefs, queens, and commanders be? You, the chief, you, the commander, or whatever traditional ruler that you are, driving in your nice car. I'm not saying you shouldn't drive in a nice car, but while you are enjoying all those goodies and you see your children, I mean the children of the land, walking down the street, I mean doing drugs, hungry, no jobs. How do you feel? How do you feel? For how long are we going to live on this earth? That leaders of Africa can't do away with their greed so that they will build the African continent for us. When we talk of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the Osajefo, set us on the right footing. What happened? What happened? What happened? And I think in Ghana, like we should be way developed than this. When I look back on what happened 79 and 81, the 79 and 81 coup, and we still have corruption in Ghana, then I'm like, I mean, how can we solve this problem? Like I said earlier, the only way out is to stop getting so attached to political parties and personalities. Those of you who know me personally, you know that I was once upon a time a member of the MPP party, but no more. Because, I mean, I found them to be one of the most useless parties on earth, the MPP party. And like I cited earlier, there is no way that if you have a good head on your neck, you support the MPP party because of the wastage in using $59 million in just constructing a foundation in the name of a cathedral. Think about it. Maybe you have not worked to earn a dollar before. If you've worked to earn a dollar before, then you appreciate the enormous value of $59 million. Youth of Africa, arise. Women of Africa, arise. If we don't put the feet of these politicians to fire, they will never do anything for us. Workers' Union, lay your tools down. Let's see a roadmap, a concrete roadmap that this present NDC government has to build Ghana. We need it. Nobody in Africa was born to live poor. Nobody was born to live a poverty lifestyle in Africa. Nobody. So please, I'll leave this with you. And I'm happy to see you here. It's a new week. It's a new dawn. Like I always say, if you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. Have a wonderful week. Peace and love to you. Please don't forget to leave me your comments and your suggestions, and be watching out for a cooking show sometime tonight or tomorrow. Okay, I know it's been a while. I miss you guys. Be good. Again, peace and love to you. God bless us all. Thank you.